TikTok has become a militant non-Christian arm designed specifically to beat down followers of Christ. Almost every live is about this in some way, some capacity. Even the political ones are really heavily anti-Christian, very left-wing orientated. And I was able to expose that best after Charlie Kirk had died. And we were able to sit in and listen to their conversations and engage with them. And just watching these people revel. They reveled in his death. Now, you know, maybe, okay, you're a leftist and I'm being the most charitable I can be. I don't care. I didn't like the guy anyway. You know, I can maybe reconcile that in my head. But to revel in it, like, that takes it to the next level. But why not revel in the death of a Nazi?
Yeah, that's up. Okay, guys, we are in Las Vegas. We finally got Andrew Wilson out here. It took some time, but thanks for coming, man.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got
your studio is excellent, by the way.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You do all your stuff from your house, right? All your
Yep. My command station is or was my basement, but
little man cave.
Yeah, I recently moved to Texas.
Okay.
Because I needed additional studio space, so I'm building a new studio there.
Scaling, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. What part of Texas?
Can't say.
Can't say?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some enemies.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of guests go after you, man. I got a list here. Nema, Not So Erudite came on last week. Gary the Numbers Guy. Emily Saves America. Farha, the feminist. So it's nice to finally have you here to defend yourself.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Something about you is very polarizing, it seems, with these liberals, huh?
They get very upset with me, yes. Isn't it funny how it's always post-debate, but they can't shut up about me, but I never mention them again?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's almost like, well, maybe I didn't perform very well and I need to cope for the next rest of my life. Right? Yeah. That's what it feels like to me.
Very interesting, yeah. How long have you been doing debates for?
Well, I guess 5 years, but I really started going hard at it about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
That's when I decided I'm going to actually try to pursue this full time, which is a dangerous thing because, as you know, in this business, it's very, very difficult to make ends meet for most people, and almost nobody makes it. So it was, like that was kind of a terrifying transition, but who dares wins.
It's very hard. I mean, as we're filming this, I got a strike this morning. You know,
for what?
Medical misinformation.
I thought YouTube wasn't doing that anymore.
They are still doing it, man. I got one a year ago for vaccine stuff, and I thought that'd be the last one, but I just got hit with one this morning.
Oh my god!
So it's an uphill battle always. You know, it's very hard to make
That's
it.
why I don't even keep content on YouTube. I put it all on my website because I just do the lives on YouTube and that's it. Because they're ever-changing TOS. You can't keep up with it. They give you no justification. They give you no guidance. They don't help you at all. Even if you have a rep there, it's not even that helpful. So
I still don't have a rep. Never got my 100K plaque. Never got my mil plaque. No one's ever reached out to me about that. I hit those milestones a long time ago.
Is your channel monetized?
Yeah, we're monetized.
Then you should get the plaque.
It's so weird, dude. I know many people that haven't gotten their plaques.
Really?
Yeah. Did you get yours?
I did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on good terms with YouTube.
Yeah.
I guess because you go live and you're bringing them a lot of volume.
Yeah, and then, well, I think that YouTube would prefer to not ever have any political content ever again.
You think so?
I think that they would prefer to have cat videos and women doing their nails.
That's how it used to be.
And fluffy nonsense and stuff like that because their advertisers, that's where they're making all their money. Super chats, yeah, that's a good revenue stream. But think of it from their angle. I remember I was talking with Pearl Davis about this, and I'm like, look, it doesn't matter if you bring in $100,000 a month and YouTube gets 20,000 of it. If they have a sponsor that's worth millions and the sponsor says, I don't want my stuff on that channel, and if it even accidentally goes on that channel, right, I'm pulling my sponsorship, you're gone.
Right.
What do they care? They're the largest video sharing platform in the world. They don't need you.
Yeah.
And so, I think unfortunately, you got to play within the confines of the game, and it sucks. I do everything I can to help creators avoid that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's how I'm really sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. I tell people not to have the social media platforms as your primary source of income.
Yeah.
Like use it as like a side thing, because if you rely on them for the payouts, it's too risky. You know.
Yeah, they will eventually do you in.
Yeah. What do you think about their recent unbanning of certain accounts? Did that give you any hope? They didn't really
unban anybody. Come on, like they
Sneako.
Well, Sneako they did, but here's the thing: Sneako had worked really hard for a couple of years to recover his image, and I thought he did a good job with his image campaign. I've talked with Sneako quite a bit. He's always treated me very well, and I was happy to see him get that back because they really shouldn't have taken it away to begin with, and they did it based on affiliation. Let's be real. They did it based on affiliation. They didn't take his account away from him because of things he was saying, which were just too much. Because now people in the mainstream are saying things worse than what he was saying, and you know it's fine. It's part of mainstream discourse. That poor guy, though, yeah, they ran him through the ringer, and he'd been working on that channel since he was a kid.
Yeah, since middle school, I think. Yeah, they did him dirty.
That's his skill set, and he brought a lot of value to YouTube from that. I know that there's polarization around him because he did a Muslim conversion, and that makes all the Christians mad and this and that, but he didn't deserve that.
You've been debating a lot of Muslims lately?
Not lately.
No. You're kind of over that one.
I try to stay in the political arena. You can't avoid apologetics 100%, but most of the people who are in the apologetics circles are more focused on virtue signaling than they are on any issues at all that affect everybody, and it just drives me crazy, and I can't stand them. And so dealing with them in any capacity, just all it does is upset me. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, they abort 1 million babies a year. You're worried about me saying the word shit? Are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? And they're like, well, there's a proper way to conduct this war, and God is watching. And I'm like, yeah, well, I think he would rather watch me say, hey, don't murder that baby. What the hell is wrong with you? Than worry about my refined social palate and social taboos when it comes to language. But what do I know?
Yeah. Which debate topics are you most passionate about right now?
Well, obviously after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, I had differences with TPUSA, don't get me wrong, but I always said that Kirk was more of a force for good than he was for evil.
I agree.
And, we spent a good 3 solid weeks on TikTok just exposing TikTokers saying and doing the most horrible things behind the scenes to attack Charlie Kirk, to call him a racist, destroy his social image, because they want his movement dismantled. They want it dismantled, and they're exacerbating the power vacuum behind the scenes as much as they possibly can to get right-wingers to fight with right-wingers. I've seen the organized attacks on Erica Kirk, which, by the way, it's the stupidest thing in the world. It's an optical... that's an optics nightmare. That's an optics nightmare. Is Erica Kirk going to mess everything up in TPUSA? I mean, I don't know, probably, but you got to wait till she does. You got to wait. You can't preemptively strike because she gave the president and the vice president a hug. It's too much.
Yeah, that JD Vance hug, man.
Yeah, and then you find other pictures of her, and she hugs everybody like that. Yeah, she basically pats them on and that's a Southern thing, by the way. Southern women do that all the time. They do the back of the head pat, and if you watch the video, they really try to angle those still frames, don't they?
The
and then
exact timestamp.
Yeah, and then you watch the video, and you just don't think anything of it.
Yeah,
it doesn't even look bad at all. But once you get those still frames, and you get a bunch of the rabble rousers out there, and it's like, and the left loves it. In fact, it's the left enhancing the message more. I see more large left-wing platforms putting that out, and then dissident right-wingers who enhance that, and it's like, it's just an optical nightmare, man. And you're not going to win people over with it.
It does seem like there's a lot of fighting on the right now. I mean, as we were talking, the Tucker attacks have been at an all-time high. So.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's see if we can go back in history a little bit here. So I've been paying very close attention to this. And all of this is really the fault of one person, ultimately, I think. And that's Candace Owens.
Okay.
That's Candace Owens.
I thought you were going to say Fuentes.
I don't think so. So let me kind of give you my rationale for this. Tucker's doing having conversation with Owens, okay? And in that conversation, he's being very agreeable with her because she's his friend, right? And she hates Nick. They did this interview, and it got a bit combative. Yeah. She said things afterwards that pissed him off, and so they've been going at it, and they've been going at it for a while. Now, all Tucker really did there, right? I mean, he did kind of make the Fed accusation, don't get me wrong, right? But the problem is without her there, I don't think he would have said anything about Fuentes. I really don't. I don't think he would have said a word. But he did, and so that pissed off the Graper Army bad. And they're like, look, if you're going to talk shit about this guy, do it to his face, which is fair, totally fair. And they basically graped him and graped him and graped him. And eventually, he did have Fuentes on.
Yep.
And the round one was an interview. And he got a lot of shit for the interview. You didn't give enough pushback. You didn't do that. You didn't do... But, you know, his show format has not been him debating guests.
Other than the Ted Cruz episode.
Yeah, well, and that wasn't a debate. He just said to him, look, he's trying to ask him a question. He wants an honest answer.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Is it the case that modern Zionism is supposed to support the modern state of Israel? Or even if we took what you're saying here at face value, does it mean something else? He felt like he wasn't getting a good answer, and so he pressed. That wasn't really a debate. That was a small snippet from a huge interview, and it was a bit combative, but you know, I've seen brutal blood sport debate. That was not one of them. And most of his episodes are just letting the other person talk, right? While he asks his questions, they get their view out there, and he'll bring on their opposition to do the same thing. And by the way, he's hardly the only podcaster who does that. There's thousands of them that do that. So why he's getting an untold amount of shit, it's for one reason only. Fuentes is a polarizing personality. But Carlson, he kind of made the bed when he attacked the guy. So he had to have him on, you know what I mean, to, you know, kind of clear the air or whatever it is. And he followed the kind of basic format of his show.
Yeah.
You know, now they're like, hey, he said he loved Hitler and Stalin, and you didn't push back on that, and this and that. And it's like, well, there might have been pre-agreements. Like, you can come on, but, you know, I'll let you tell your side. It's not going to be a debate. There's not going to be a, you know, we're going to jump you. There's not going to be any of that. Like, you don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Nick said there was a call beforehand, so definitely possible.
Yeah. You don't
a
know
lot of
what
times
happened
there is
behind
with
the
big
scenes.
shows like that.
Yeah. And the thing is like, look, the mainstream right, they're messing this whole thing up anyway. The amount of palpable fear that they have when they even mention this guy gives him more power than they can. I mean, it's like gives him so much power over all of them. They think about him every day and all night long.
Did you see Ben Shapiro's video about him?
I did not.
Oh,
When was this?
I think it was today. He made a pretty long video about the America First movement and how it's been hijacked by Nick.
Yeah, and how Ben Shapiro won't debate with him.
Yeah. I'd love to see that debate.
Well, the thing is, it's like it may need to happen now. Well, there's a power vacuum. TPUSA, say what you want about them, they have the largest ground outreach program in the world.
By far.
And Fuentes knew it. And early on, he knew that they were moving towards that. And that was one of the reasons that he started the Graper Wars. Now, I was around. I watched those early on, the Graper Wars. And I thought that he was asking a very compelling question. And I don't think he ever got a very compelling answer. And the question over and over was just this. If we expand the idea of conservatism to include social degeneracy, what have we won? Like, what are we winning here? How does you having a bunch of gay people up on the stage talking about Christian values helping us here? How is that good for the United States? And in a way, it was mesmerizing for people to watch because a lot of us had the same question. Like, how are you helping us here with this? How is this helpful? And when you fast forward to Kirk's untimely death due to this lunatic assassin, you find something very important if you follow the history, and that is that TPUSA moved a lot more towards Nick Fuentes' America First than Nick Fuentes' America First moved towards TPUSA.
Wow. Crazy to think about, right?
Yeah.
When you put it in that perspective, you're right, though.
Yeah.
Everything he stood for.
Everything, from mass migration to social degeneracy, all of those things. Now, they would there's huge divergence between Kirk and Fuentes. Don't get me wrong. Everything from their interpretation of the Bible, which is the format of their ethics, and Christian Zionism, which is fast becoming the issue of our time, to economics, to how political structures work, and how power is supposed to be responsibly used. Totally 180s from each other on that. But on the social issues, Kirk moved towards Fuentes. Fuentes didn't move towards Kirk. And and I challenge anybody out there watching, I don't care who you are, Officer Tatum, any of you idiots, right? Any of you dummies. Prove me wrong on that. Prove me wrong on that. Because it seems like a whole lot of people moved a whole hell of a lot more towards that idea than they moved towards the social ideas of TPUSA. And I think that that's an objective fact. And if anybody can prove or demonstrate to me how I'm wrong on that, when I followed the linear history between these two, and I followed it very closely, you know, it was an interesting social change that was going on. And it is a fact.
Open challenge to anyone watching this to debunk that. Have you conversed with Officer Tatum yet? Have you debated him?
Officer Tatum made a hit piece video about me based on a clip that went viral from whatever podcast. Many of the clips on whatever podcast which go viral are not actually even from Brian Atlas or the whatever team, but often from feminists who cut off key portions of the conversation so that you can't see the overarching context in order to, of course, besmirch yours truly. Now, the thing that's interesting about that is it's often right-wingers who don't do their due diligence and fall for the rage bait and make videos of their own. Well, that opens up a unique opportunity for me because I get to say, hey, look, stupid, you're wrong, and I'm willing to come on your show, right, under whatever conditions you want, whatever moderator you want, time debate, not time debate, open blood sports, not open blood, I don't care, right, whatever format you want, and I will show you not only are you wrong, but you lied to your audience about this. They didn't take 5 seconds to do your due diligence. Well, Tatum did that. And I have the video. I got it before he deleted it. But he put out a video calling me an unmarried incel and all sorts of things.
So he deleted it because of the pushback.
Oh, yeah. His comments were just brutalizing him. They're like, Andrew Wilson's married. He's been married for years. He has children. What the hell are you talking about?
Wow. That's shocking to me because of all the hate he's getting now for his Israel stance. He's not deleting those, but he deleted
that, and I have it. So
Wow.
if you want it, I'll send it to you. But I mean, he launched it on his YouTube, and that's where I got it. He deleted it. He never said a word about it. He never said he was sorry. He never apologized. He never said, "Hey guys, I got some facts wrong here," you know, and tried to besmirch this guy in front of millions of people. I mean, he's got a huge reach, and he was associated with TPUSA, even bigger reach. If a guy like that will put a video out on you without talking to you, what's he saying when you're not there? It ain't going to be good stuff.
Good point.
It ain't going to be good stuff. Nobody who puts out hit piece videos without even getting your side or even trying to or attempting to get the context right behind the scenes, they poison the well with everybody they come in contact with.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of hit pieces on you. Do you ever want to go the legal route, or you kind of just want to battle it out with words?
I don't even think it's I don't even think it's necessary. The thing is like, if you're in a position that I am when you battle so many different types of ideologies and you do it very publicly, you're going to get slandered constantly. Right. I feel like that comes with the territory. I've got a pretty thick skin about it. You know, no matter what they take out of context, do take out of context. You know what I mean? You know, whatever, it's the internet. The only thing that makes me angry, that's frustrating to me, is when I'm like, you know, I'll come on and give an accounting. Like, I'll come talk to you and tell you what the context was behind that, why I said it, why I think it was important, and I'll even tell you if I thought I was wrong. You know what I mean? And we can have that discussion or have that debate around that issue. You know, I'm always happy to do that. And to watch them just cower and come up with excuses drives me crazy. When they're like, well, no, it's because you're too bad faith. How could that be bad faith if it's on your show with your rules and everything? How could I be bad faith if I'm coming to you? How?
They got all the leverage.
You got all the leverage, right? What it is they know they're lying. And I'm one of the few people who I have the social skills, the intercommunication skills, the clout, and the debate skills to demonstrate it in front of their audience. And that's a terrifying proposition for people.
Yeah, it's rare to have all those skills in one person, I've noticed.
Very rare.
Super rare.
Very rare.
Like probably one hand you could count.
Yep. I've been very fortunate with that. Fuentes is a guy who's like that. Yeah. Right? He's another one. Carlson, he has many of those skills, but he doesn't have the kind of overarching debate skills or the foundation that you would need for that. And he's not as good of an entertainer, right? But he is he's very good at capturing what's going on in the social ethos and presenting it in a way that's not only very controversial, but sometimes it's mostly controversial because it makes sense, right? And he's very good at that. And sometimes I think that's the better skill set to have because, you know, for me, maybe I guess you could say I'm too easy to bait, you know, or something like that. But,
rage bait.
But I don't think so. I think that
you do get fiery in some of your debates, I noticed.
Of course. But I think that that's part of showmanship, and I think it's part of entertainment, and it doesn't take away from my argument. And I always like to watch the cope of people saying, well, he was emotional, and then watching other people say, but how was he wrong?
Facts.
And they have nothing. And I'm like, well, if all you can focus on was the fact that I was animated during the debate, but you have nothing against my arguments, then I feel like I won pretty handily, right? But anyway, kind of back to this, to the social paradigm. I don't even think that I'm easy to bait. I think that I'm just one of the few who will say, look, if you're going to make a hit piece, why don't you actually let me come give an accounting? Why don't you actually, say these criticisms to me where I can respond to them in front of your audience and mine, and then if you're right, don't I have all the risk?
Yeah. Has someone ever backtracked on their hit piece on you?
I do it all the time.
Oh, yeah?
But they never get rid of the hit piece. Never get rid of the hit piece.
The YouTube monetization.
That got too much views,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But they'll backtrack or maybe send me a DM, oh, I got this wrong. And I'm like, publicly say you got it wrong. Can't do that. That's
bad
too
for
much.
business.
Yeah, but like Tatum, I have every right to ask that guy and tell that guy he owes me an apology. He does.
Yeah.
He should be in my, he should literally either publicly or send me a DM immediately and be like, look, I'm really sorry I did that to you. That was a horrible thing to say, that you're an unmarried incel, and try to present you in that light in front of your wife and kids and family and everyone else. Like, What a horrible thing to say.
I'll try to mediate that if you want.
Sure.
Have you had someone try to mend the bridges there?
The guy won't even communicate with me. I'm too small, even though my live audience is way bigger, right? I have one of the larger live audiences around for a conservative commentator. Usually breaking my daily Rumble show does, 20 to 30,000 live.
Wow.
On YouTube. I usually stick around somewhere between 7 to 10,000. If I'm doing something important, much more than that, with another few thousand on Rumble watching. So I have a huge live audience, way bigger than Tatum, right? But I think that's what they're afraid of is like, hey, this guy will come on, he'll actually defend himself, and I'm going to look dumb.
Yeah. Those live audiences are more impressive to me than getting 100K on a YouTube video.
Way more. It's way harder to build, and you can't fake it.
Well, you can, but
you can't if they have the super chats to back it. And you have to remember that I'm usually in the United States, I'm usually in the top 5 most super chat channels, and in the world, usually in the top 20.
Wow. So there's a ranking website that shows that?
Yeah, you can go to Social Blade and look at it.
Interesting. Who's in the top 5?
Well,
gotta be Fuentes.
No, but he's not on YouTube.
I get so many clips of him getting donations and him just roasting his audience.
Oh, sure, but he's not on YouTube.
If he was on YouTube.
If he was on YouTube, he would probably be the number one.
Yeah.
The number one slot, period. I mean, the guy did great when he did great. And when he was on Twitch, he did great. And when he was on DLive, he did great. Like his audience definitely wants to support him with monetization, but so does mine. And I can't, there's not even in the top 5. If I named the channel names, you wouldn't recognize any of them.
Okay.
Because none of them are conservative commentators.
So in the political space, you might be number 1 then.
For on the right, on YouTube, at least for overall super chat donations, that could be the case. I'm not going to say it is because I'm not sure.
Shout out to today's sponsor, Quince. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually gets the job done, that are warm, durable, and built to last. Quince delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. They have fall staples that you'll actually want to wear, like the 100% Mongolian cashmere for just $60. They also got classic fit denim and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. They've really become a go-to across the board. You guys know how I love linen and how I've talked about it on previous episodes. I picked up some linen pants and they feel incredible. The quality is definitely noticeable compared to other brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quince.com/DSH for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. They're also available in Canada too.
Either way,
I don't see anybody ever who's a right-wing conservative commentator is in the top 5 there. No.
Well, I'd say right now, just because she's still covering the Charlie stuff, Candace has to be up there because she's going live every day right now.
We beat Candace in super chats.
Really? Yeah. Because she's getting a big viewership right now.
I think we beat her in I think we beat her in overall. Now, I could be wrong, and the audience can correct me if I am. You can look at the numbers. They come out on Social Blade quite a bit, but I think we actually do beat her.
Well done.
Yeah.
Have you been following her series covering Charlie's assassination on YouTube?
Yeah, she's a lunatic and an idiot, and I've always said she's a lunatic and an idiot, and I debate her on these topics anytime, any place that she wanted to, starting with her Bridget Macron series, which is complete nonsense. Not a single positive piece of evidence ever presented by her. All of this gained from somebody who is another crazy person, and it's very easy to kind of track this. She's not. And by the way, you want to know why it is? People ask me all the time, like, you usually don't punch right. You usually don't, and I usually don't. I usually don't punch right. I used to a lot more, but I don't anymore because we need a more unified front now, and I haven't for a long time. But Candace Owens. I mean, this was a woman who she had the whole DEI thing where she was saying, these people over here are racist and I'm going to sue them. She had the doxing website, right? She's a recent conservative convert. That's one. But the second big one is what she did to Steven Crowder. When Steven Crowder, when that came out from Hillary, okay, Hillary Crowder completely manipulated the situation. There's thousands of hours of tape, and she released just a small segment of it at an opportune time to try to destroy this guy on her way out to up her bargaining negotiation standing for money. That's it. And Candace capitalized on that and did everything possible to ruin that man's reputation by saying he was an abuser and all of these other horrible things. Yeah. Never apologized for it, ever. She's never apologized for doing that to that man. And he's a great guy. Like, I mean, he's not just personally a good guy who will help basically anybody for any reason. But she knew it was bullshit and did it anyway.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Damn. Yeah, that cancellation, I feel like that one was pretty effective.
Sure was. And you know what? That's why I say, man, it's when the shit hits the fan, who's got your back when that happens. That's how you know who to stick with going forward, especially in the podcast world, because there was almost everybody turned on Crowder, except for a few people, like Pearl Davis. She was pretty stalwart. Say what you want about Pearl. She didn't back away one iota from Hillary or the mob, and they were gunning for her, man. They had huge private chats to get rid of her. Huge private chats to go after people. She exposed the entire Mean Girls clique, which included Lauren Southern and many of these other people. They're all interconnected. They're all interconnected in this little Mean Girls club where they were trying to cancel people, get dirt on them, expose them, this and that. And they were doing that to Steven too.
Jeez. They
were doing that to Steven too. And she could have just said this. Even if she thought that it was fishy or this or that, or maybe she even thought Steven was just not such a swell guy, she could have done what more women should do and shut the fuck up.
You kind of came on the scene after peak cancel culture, so has that ever happened to you where they try to cancel you?
Constantly.
Oh,
that's
still?
why I don't keep any of my content on YouTube. Okay. You have to go to the Crucible.video to get my my content list. And it'll always be like that because they mass report every video. They flag everything that I do, every chance that they get. It's not just leftist. There's right-wingers who do it too, who have been embarrassed by me in various debates. And even after this interview, I can almost guarantee you that there'll be hit pieces on me after this interview.
Jeez.
And over what? They're not going to be able to objectively say anything I'm saying is untrue. It's just a Smoky Man bad. Smoky Man bad. Smoky Man bad.
That's the nickname for you, Smoky Man?
Yeah, Smoky Man. The Smoky Man is bad.
Yeah, I lost my TikTok, man.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, that was a big loss. We were getting a lot of views there.
We go on the TikTok. Have you ever seen a TikTok invasion?
Is that the live debates?
When I go into TikTok and
you raid like Harry Sisson.
Oh yeah, when I go in and tangle with those guys. Yeah. Most fun you can have anywhere on the internet is a TikTok.
I can't believe
invasion.
they let you up still. They know your shindig by now, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, go in under other names.
Oh, you use an anonymous account
and voice changers even if I need to.
Damn.
I'm not gonna let TikTokers. Here's what's happened. TikTok has become a militant non-Christian arm designed specifically to beat down followers of Christ. Almost every live is about this in some way, some capacity. Even the political ones are really heavily anti-Christian.
Wow.
Very left-wing orientated. And I was able to expose that best after Charlie Kirk had died. And we were able to sit in and listen to their conversations and engage with them. And just watching these people revel. They reveled in his death. Now, you know, maybe, okay, you're a leftist and I'm being the most charitable I can be. You know what I mean? I don't care. I didn't like the guy anyway. Okay, you know, I can maybe reconcile that in my head. But to revel in it, you know, like that takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
But why not revel in the death of a Nazi?
Yeah, that's fucked up. So the kids were actually celebrating on these lives, and you were entering these rooms.
Oh, yeah, I can send you clip after clip, and so can my audience.
Wow.
I mean,
that is nuts.
They would tell me right to my face, you know, because I'm Rico on TikTok. I'm a nobody. They tell me right to my face. You know what I mean? He absolutely deserved it. Good. You know, and I hope Erica burns in hell after him. Horrible people.
Jeez.
Horrible people.
That's borderline demonic.
And, you know, you can't say abortion on TikTok because that'll get your channel banned. But reveling in the death of a conservative commentator who was assassinated live in probably one of the most socially compelling and demoralizing events of our time, you can revel in that. No problem. Hey, but let's go after Nick because, you know, he said some edgy stuff on Tucker. Let's go after Tucker because he let it happen.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the world. This world over here, the TikTok world, the Instagram world, that's where all the propaganda is coming from. That's where these people are being indoctrinated all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we've been building in the background a network to stop that by engaging with these people nonstop over and over again, 24 hours a day. There's conservatives now from the Crucible debating on TikTok, trying to kind of push back the horde of not just misinformation about Christian nationalism and what they consider Christian authoritarianism and this type of thing, but also just to push back on basic humanity. And where are these guys doing this? They're not doing it anywhere. They're just going to snipe at each other on Twitter? What a waste of time.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Have you noticed any significant algorithm changes since the new TikTok ownership took over?
No.
None at all?
Nothing.
Really? That's surprising. You'd think it would have gotten better.
Just as bad.
Really?
Just as full of leftists, just as full of lunatics, witches, warlocks, sorcerers, crystal miners, you know, crazy satanic individuals. Some of them will have pentagrams on their head while they do their lives. Everything that they can do to demoralize Christianity and spread a propagating message against it, they're doing. And if you don't believe me, just go watch a TikTok invasion.
Jeez.
Just go watch it. I've had just hundreds and hundreds of DMs from all over the world of people going, I didn't know that this was happening. I had no idea that this was even occurring. And there's just hundreds and hundreds of these lives going on all day long, just completely to demoralize and destroy anybody who has any sort of grounding in Christian ethics.
That's insane. Trump's administration has to be aware of this, right? I'd imagine someone on their team.
Well, the thing is, again, this became, when it becomes political, it becomes complex. There's multiple arms now in the political infighting, and the right, the dissident right, and the social left have something in common. The Anarchisperians and the Sankey-Gurs have something in common with the Nick Fuenteses, which is that they're very much anti-Zionist.
Yep.
And so for some of the dissident right, that is the message, and the only message that matters is Zionism and Jewish influence in the United States. And if the left is on board with that, they'll accept it and allow these other kind of social issues to go by the wayside until that one's dealt with, because they think that kind of out of everything, that's the one that trounces everything. So in a way, there's an unholy alliance on that front. But on the flip side to that, we also have the mass conservative infighting from the Zionist Christians, which almost seem to make their point. Like, these guys can't say anything without an entire swath of former MSM affiliated or TPUSA affiliated or big money, big business, big conglomerate affiliated conservatives going after them. They can't say a word. Now, is there some bad optics in I Heart Hitler? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's some bad optics there. Okay. And does it open you up for some serious criticism? Yeah, I think it does.
You're going to lose some sponsors.
But all it does ultimately is it's still distracting from the other points that do bring people in, which is, and I'll go through them. Mass migration, number one point, right? Mass immigration, mass migration is the most unpopular policy in the world. In the world. Nobody likes it except leftists. For some stupid reason, they're going to die on that hill. Everyone hates it. Abortion, right? And these are just social issues. LGBTQ, trans, right? The list, I can give you a huge list of social issues which are going on. Feminism, female empowerment, the idea of intersexual dynamics being so screwed up. Like, there's a huge categorical list that is just being ignored. Instead, only to focus on this because of what's going on in the Middle East between Zionist and anti-Zionist. Well, eventually, that, everything has an ebb and flow in politics. That message will start to decline. And these people are going to have to get back to these other things. You got to realize a lot of them are way more progressive than you thought.
You really think it'll decline? Because when I go on my X right now, it's 80% Israel war. That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I can't. I'd imagine TikTok's similar. I don't know, but
nothing lasts forever.
Yeah. So you think it'll? Because it seems like it's only getting more powerful, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you remember? Well, you're probably too young.
I'm 28.
9/11.
I barely remember.
Yeah, exactly. So you probably don't remember 9/11. When you're talking about that was more critical, I think, to America and our psyche than what's going on in Israel and the Middle East. And that did wane. In about 4 or 5 years, it started to really wane off, and people started focusing on different issues. And as the Iraq War and Afghanistan War continued, many people just forgot there was one. They just forgot all about it.
Okay.
You still had veterans coming home, and they're like, "Wait, you got deployed where? They still do that?
Yeah,
right? They still do that? That's still happening." And it will wane. And because the situation has to resolve itself at some point, either with an uneasy peace, which is the most likely, or with complete decimation, which is the least likely.
I just wonder, because 9/11, that was pre-social media. Now you're just seeing it nonstop everywhere. You know what I mean?
Can I give you an example?
Sure.
Ukraine. Russia, Ukraine.
That's a great example, actually. I barely see it anymore.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that could be by design, too.
Could be. The thing is like I never chop up to conspiracy what can be explained with stupidity. And the truth is that the news cycle, it's a dopamine hit, and it's been a dopamine hit for a long time.
Yeah.
And creators are just as bad as the old MSM used to be with that dopamine hit. When that news cycle hits, as long as they're pumping out the dopamine and the headlines and they're getting the views and the clicks, they will. And if people's interests start waning towards something else, they cover that.
For the most part, are you pretty anti-conspiracy theory?
Well, no. I mean, the government has tens of thousands of laws in the books about conspiracies because they seem to see them everywhere. So I would say that... no, there's definitely conspiracy theory that aren't theories; they're just conspiracies.
Okay.
And the term conspiracy theory was popularized by the Central Intelligence Agency to make people look bad because they would point out things which were objectively true. So there's thousands of conspiracies going on right this second. But I guess when we make the referent of a conspiracy theory, there's still tons of people who try to connect dots which aren't there. And they try to kind of propagate what the left would refer to as misinformation or things like this for the purposes of views and clicks. But that does not mean that conspiracies don't happen. MK Ultra happened.
Yep.
That wasn't a conspiracy. Project Paperclip, which they would have considered a conspiracy then, it happened.
Chemtrails.
There's tons and tons we can go through. So no, I'm not anti-conspiracy theorist at all. I know that that's literally designed to demoralize people who are trying to do legitimate work, media work, connecting dots between people who are working in unison towards some goal. That's what a conspiracy is, right?
Yeah. And
no, of course, I'm not anti. No, not at all. There's way too much of it, which has been declassified, where we know, okay, well, a lot of this stuff did happen, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to use my brain either. When people are presenting evidence, I'm going to look at it objectively and go through the evidence. I call balls, I call strikes. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Charlie Kirk conspiracies on what exactly happened. Has your opinions changed since the event on anything?
Well, this is one of the problems, right? It's like there's a problem with never believing the official story, right? Is because sometimes the official story could be true. On the shooter thing, I mean, I do think that this guy got up on a building, and I think he did murder Charlie Kirk. And I think he did, kind of in the middle of day, and kind of almost nonchalantly jump off a roof and walk away. I do think that happened. And you know what? The truth is often stranger than fiction. And the fact that one of these lunatics would do that after having dealt with them for years and years doesn't surprise me a bit.
So you're buying the mainstream narrative on it for the most part?
I mean, and there was people who were there on the right and on the left.
Yeah.
And they were like, look, where are they? They're not running around saying, hey, I have some questions. There's two people who are really pushing no, it was an inside job. And it's Ian Carroll and Candace Owens, and they have no fucking evidence. They have no good evidence for this at all. They've never presented a single shred of compelling evidence, and we don't know exactly what happened yet because there's an ongoing investigation. And I think you got to be real careful with that kind of thing. You destroy your credibility pretty quickly if you get it wrong, and you don't need to rush to get it right.
Yeah. Would you ever sit down with Ian Carroll?
Oh yeah.
I'll set that up if he wants it.
No, he can sit down with me.
You don't think so?
No.
You've gone after him on Twitter?
No, I don't think I've really gone after him hard, but I just doubt it. There's a thing that happens with like bullshit artists when they're offered a debate with me. You see that they usually have somewhere else to be.
To be fair, you own a debate school. They're
True.
Probably a little intimidated from that point of view.
You mind plugging it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, debateuniversity.com.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Also, one of the other reasons I really appreciated you hosting, I'm on a media tour right now for the next 15 days, which is going to end in Nashville, Tennessee for DebateCon.
Okay.
And you can buy your tickets there through Modern Day Debate. And it's going to be a banger. It's also going to we have a Saturday night party that we're doing.
Nice.
And man, it's going to be great. And we have hundreds and hundreds of supporters who are going to be there. So I strongly suggest everybody go and get what tickets are left as soon as possible. So
That's awesome.
I appreciate you letting me
Of
plug
course.
that.
When you're doing a big debate like that with a live audience, how much prep goes into that? Like, are you spending hours studying your opponent?
I spend hours doing prep daily.
Really? Oh, so you take it very serious.
Because I spend hours doing prep daily no matter what.
Even if you're just by yourself.
Part of my daily routine is debate prep.
I don't think a lot of creators can say they do that.
No. I think that the fruits of all my hard work show, and they don't just show in the debates. They show in the creative capacity of the Crucible, the way that we put on shows, and the kind of high octane entertainment that we usually present to our audience, which is just, it's fun.
Right.
And the internet's still supposed to be fun, and shows are supposed to be fun,
humorous. Yeah.
And I make shows very fun, and but yeah, it's every day is hours of prep. I don't take any days off from doing that, really.
Wow.
Occasionally, maybe I'll be like, well, you know what, I'm going to play a video game instead. But it's rare. I usually spend a couple hours every single day doing debate prep, or I'm with my team doing debate prep and doing mock debates, or I'm in my Discord doing mock debates with my own audience.
Interesting.
Push me harder. Where am I flawed? Hit me hard. I want to know, so I can shore that up. I've taken lessons from great philosophers all over the world. I pay them privately so I can sit in and listen, take notes, pick their brains, because I do take it seriously. I represent the worldview of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. And I think that is not just a great honor, but a huge responsibility. And I do take it seriously. And where other people laugh it off, maybe, and they're like, well, it's not a big deal in the social zeitgeist where debate is one of the most powerful weapons you have. Yeah, I think it is a big deal. I think it is.
Is it one of your goals to be known as one of the best debaters of all time?
That was never a goal. That was never what I set out to do. But it's possible that happens. You know what I mean? But it was never. What I want to do is be known as a person who did take seriously the responsibility of the worldview I represent, and that I did as good a job as a nobody from the middle of nowhere could have done with that. That's what I would rather be remembered for that.
I love it. What if your worldview changes in the future, though?
It's possible. I don't think that the grounding foundational of Christianity as the grounding for my epistemology and ontology, my entire theory for how knowledge works itself is going to change. That I don't. Yeah, that's not going to change.
Yeah.
But there are going to be things within the worldview that do, and I'm okay with that, because when I don't want to engage in cognitive dissonance. If it becomes the case, even something I've been tied to for years, like let's say force doctrine is proved wrong, or many of the other arguments I put out in the ethos, which are repeated by thousands of people now, If those end up being untrue or demonstrated to be completely false, there's no angle anymore to attack them from, I'll abandon them.
Interesting.
I'll abandon them.
Has that happened to you where you had a belief and it got proven wrong?
It happens to me all the time.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's a common thing.
Yeah, very common thing, right? Cut off the things which they can set on fire. You know what I mean? Cut them off because you don't need them anyway. And all you're doing at that point is giving your enemy resource to use against you. I don't want to go in with false beliefs. And there's going to be times still in debates where I'm proven wrong on certain topics. Doesn't even mean you lose the debate to lose a point. But if you do lose a point, you know what I do? I obsess over it. And I make sure that I'm never going to lose that one again. Either by abandoning it, adjusting it, or being correct about it.
Yeah. You've debated hundreds, maybe even thousands of people at this point.
Yeah.
Which ones stand out to you the most out of all of them?
The best that the left can field in the political domain is Destiny.
Really? Destiny?
Yeah, he's the best that they can field in the political domain.
I thought you destroyed him personally, but okay.
I did. But he's terrible in metaphysics, philosophy. He's terrible with epistemology. He's terrible with all of that. He's not good in any normative claims. Normative here, meaning ethical. He's only good on normalized political claims because he has hyper-focused on memorization. But you'll usually see him only engage in a few things at a time. Usually he's going to engage on Trump. Why? Because that's where all of his focus has stayed for all kind of mental muscle memorization for regurgitation.
TDS.
Well, it's not just TDS. It's like he's practicing too, and he's taking a shit. Look, say what you want about the guy. He's on tour right now, and he is welcoming conservatives in to debate him, and he's not running away from them. And so, like, there's an amount of dignified respect I have for that. Now, does the guy suck dick? Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, literally. Okay. Was the guy a cuck? Yeah. Okay, all of those things are true. Did this guy let other dudes plow his wife on purpose? Yes. But I got to tell you, there's still this modicum that I have of respect for a person who even with all of the kind of insults that come after him for that, which a lot of them are justified, he's still willing to go out and do these debates live with people, putting his worldview on the line, and he often wins. In fact, he most often wins.
Wow.
And so, and I do too. I most often win, right? Guys like Rob Knorr, they often win. But the thing is like, so that's not by accident. It's not because he's stupid, and it's not because he's not studying, and it's not because he's not focusing on what is important to him. And so to me, it's like two nights in an arena, you put your visor up, you can't kind of help but respect that.
Right.
When I go in to do a debate with Destiny, I got to take the guy seriously, and he has to take me seriously too.
Do you respect the in-person aspect of it? Because I know you don't have the same respect for the TikTok debaters like Dean, Harry, and...
Yeah, well, neither does Destiny, though. I mean, he's said that they run away from him, too.
Right.
Those guys, fundamentally, they're just regurgitation machines. They can't think on their feet. They can't do any of that. What happens with guys like Dean and guys like Parker, you'll see this during the Fuentes debate. I exposed it very early on. And by the way, his Groyper army did, too. Parker was literally sending answers to Dean.
What?
Live. Oh, yeah, I've got the clips.
Wow.
And Parker admitted it.
So it's 2-on-1.
No, it's 300 on one. See, what happens is they have a small, like Discord collective, and they're all shotgunning points to each other.
No way.
Parker filters them through, sends them over to Dean, or vice versa. You're never debating with one. You're debating with the collective.
That's crazy.
And so really, when you look at the debate between Nick Fuentes and Dean, right, if you think that he stomped him, I say that he stomped him out of 4 out of 6 points bad, right? I thought he could have done some work on the LGBTQ stuff. I didn't think he did great there, but I also think he didn't care about it. He was not there for that. He was there for a political debate.
Right.
But when you think about it, how bad he stomped him on those issues, right? He wasn't just stomping Dean's ass. He was stomping probably, the 50 guys in the support network and Discord, plus Parker sending him the stuff live. And Dean's reading it off the screen. And that's why they don't do live debates. We invited him. Me and Brian Atlas invited him out to whatever.
I've seen that many times.
Yeah.
I've
offered him 10 grand. I offered him 20 grand.
Jeez.
Come to a debate in person. Do you know why they won't? You know why he goes and he does Emily Saves America? All right. Is because he's an idiot. And if he was sitting across from me and we were in a live debate and you don't have your little laptop now and you don't have your cell phone and you don't have people to you can't win with what you know, which isn't enough. And those guys get exposed very badly for that. And so they stay away from it. They run from it like the plague.
I was trying to set up some debates for you. Coach Greg was quick to oblige, but with regards to people on the left, I asked David Pacman. He said no.
Coward. Pacman's the worst of them.
Yeah, he said no. To be fair, he said no to everyone I've offered. So it's not just you, but I think he's very particular on who he goes on. Mm-hmm. Harry Sisson said no.
Tell Sam Cedar. He called me out for a debate. Now he won't return my emails. Ask Sam Cedar to come in. Tell him I'll fly out special. In fact, I'll pay for his flight.
Okay.
I'll pay for his flight. I'll pay for his hotel. All right. Even though he called me out for the debate, I'll pay for his flight, hotel, and I'll come back out here and do the debate on your network.
A good one for you would be Mehdi Hassan. Have you seen his Jubilee episode?
I would. You know what? Too. Let it be the clash of the debaters. Mehdi Hassan wrote a book. My understanding is that the book is about how to not ever lose a debate. And so I'd like to see him put that in practice. I'd like to see him put that in practice.
You versus him would be a great matchup.
Yeah.
I thought he actually did very well in the Jubilee debate, the 1-on-20. Did you watch that?
He did, but I thought that there were some outs that he got that he shouldn't have gotten. So bless PineSap's heart, right? But it became viral about how to go after the fascist rather than people focusing on what Mehdi was saying. And in a way, it gave Mehdi an out.
Right.
Because he said a lot of stupid things in that debate. But what did everybody focus on? They focused on the guy who was like, well, I am a fascist. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, you just don't give him the ammo, you know? Now, look, to be fair to PineSap, I've gotten caught in those situations too. I did an internal criticism on a guy named Oliver. I did an internal critique where I got him to admit that that if you essay a woman, some of them could enjoy it, right? He was the one who admitted it, and I started mocking him, and I was like, "Oh, remember that only some of them don't like it, right, Oliver?" I was my mocking voice, totally mocking this guy. They clipped it as though that was my position.
Wow!
And put it out to the ethos institute. To this day, people still pretend that was my position. When it was his.
I think I've seen that actually.
Yeah, and I was mocking the guy for it.
That's crazy.
Not only that, Brian came out and said, no. Put out the correct clip. He was like, this is completely incorrect.
But only 1% will see that.
Yeah, and they still go with it as though that happened. But that's my own damn fault in a way, right? Even though I savaged him on the point, it doesn't matter. I put myself in a position where it could be clipped. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even though it's the most dishonest clip, you don't even think people are capable of it. You think nobody's going to believe that. Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And so the thing is with Mehdi, or to be charitable to PineSap, and I don't think that he thought that him kind of being open and honest with his beliefs was going to lead to anything like that, or the kind of focus being brought away from Mehdi Hassan, the communist scumbag, and onto him personally.
Yeah, he was totally caught off guard. I had PineSap on the show the next week. He got fired from his job. I think he had to move out of his house. Yeah. He got doxxed. It was terrible.
Well, I've seen him do Catholic debates in very good faith. He did one, I think, with Orthodox Luigi. He's a friend of mine. He's a very, very good guy. At least, what I know of him. I don't know him personally, but he's always treated me very well with respect. And when he does Catholic debates and this and that, I mean, you would just kind of think he was a run-of-the-mill apologist. Like, I was kind of shocked, in fact.
He's a nice dude, man.
That when he came out with the political ideology, which, by the way, they're speaking in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Nobody has time to really flesh out their views or things like that.
30 seconds.
You got 30 seconds, and it's like, and they destroyed him.
Yeah, you could easily cut it in a way where it makes you look bad, too, on a format like that.
And
have you ever done a 1-on-20? Like, you were the one? I know you've been part of the 20.
I got a call from Jubilee, from the staff organizer. She said, we'd love to have you come out and do one on feminism because there's huge demand for it. And I said, absolutely. And I said, send all the props over. So I sent all the props over, right? And she gave me a call and said, there's not enough TikTokers we can get who have interest. And I said, yeah, right. What happened is when I sent my prompts over, right, I think that they realized just how, because I sent things over like universal suffrage was a mistake, things like this. Because it is. I mean, and it's not just for women. It's just that universal suffrage is just stupid as a proposition. Yeah. I think that they got cold feet. So they actually scheduled it. We got it scheduled, signed the contract, and then they canceled it.
Wow. Was this after the PineSap episode? Because I know they got a lot of. I know they got a lot of heat after that one, and they canceled a lot of shows, not just yours.
But they set it up with me after that, which is what makes it so weird.
That's weird.
She called. She
so
set
maybe it was
up.
Your prompts then.
She said, "I need you to send over the prompts. Here's the contract. Everything was agreed to," and then they pulled the plug.
Yeah, I know they got a lot of heat. There was a petition to demonetize them after that one.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can have you on one day. I'd love to see that.
I'd love to do it. I'd love to go on there and brutalize 20 feminists. You know what I mean? I wish Allie Beth Stuckey would show up on the feminist side, but what are you going to do?
Would you ever have a sit down with Nala Ray again?
Oh, yeah.
You think she'd do it?
No.
Yeah, she's kind of not answering your tweets, I noticed.
No. Well, the thing is like I was 100% right. I was not only 100% right, but I was vindicated within a couple of days when she came out with her fake ministry. When she lied to everybody and said that she had no ministry. And I said, yes, you do. No, I have no ministry, and I don't believe females should be ministers. And then she had her own ministry, the Church of the Guiding Light or something.
Oh, so she started her own church?
Yeah.
Wow.
And sold courses on it.
On what?
On how to be a better wife and what Christian marriage looks like. And, and it said right on there, Minister Nala Ray. Stephen Crowder did an entire expose on it. Wow. He provided all the receipts. He showed the ministry, everything. And they were selling courses, her and her husband, on Christianity. Me and Rachel, my wife, totally vindicated immediately.
What a 180 by her. Wow. I did not know she did all that.
She was doing that almost right away.
So you think it was planned?
I think that monetizing Christianity, right, is not an easy thing to do when you were a high-profile prostitute for years of your life and made it a point to say that you were a character actress who was a pathological liar. To move over then and monetize Christianity through a ministry, which is already an affront to it, I think that that's a difficult thing to start raking the money in on. And I don't think that the movement over to Christianity has done well for her as far as money goes. It's done well for her as far as clout goes. But I think that she expected something different than what she got, because a lot of the pushback was like, look, we're really happy for you. But if it's true that you're going to complain that you're a baby Christian and that the other Christians are picking on you, then why don't you shut up? If you're not competent nor have the knowledge to make any refutations towards them or discuss the faith in a competent manner, then why are you talking about it?
Yeah.
You know, if you're a baby Christian who no one's allowed to pick on, then you need to be a baby Christian who shuts up then.
I'd imagine for her financially it was a tough transition. She must have been making a lot on OF.
Who knows? Who knows what look, I want to be charitable. And I was right from the very beginning. I said, let's see how it goes first. Congratulations. And I'm really glad anytime a woman leaves OF and she left, she got married, I was very happy for her. And I said so publicly. And I was in her corner at first. Like, look, 100%. Like, I'm glad to see you move away from that life. Okay. And then when I was on whatever, it was very clear to me, very clear that she didn't give a shit about it. Or she didn't know anything about it. She was just speaking to speak.
Wow.
And I was like, no. She denied the Trinity. She denied the basic theology. She called me a heretic. Jeez. She did everything she could do to goad me. And so what goes viral when I say, look, I'm not going to take correction from a woman who's had 50 dicks in her mouth. And by the way, I'm not going to. Ever. Ever.
You can't go back from that.
Am I, is that some kind of like spiritual death sentence on me, you think, from God? That I'm not going to take advice or spiritual advice from a woman who sucked on 50 men's penises? Like, because I'm not going to. And that seems reasonable to me.
Seems reasonable to me, too.
It seems reasonable to me.
Well, Andrew, it's been great, man. We'll link everything below. You're about to debate Coach Greg Adams, so stay tuned for that episode, guys. And anything else you want to close off with here?
Yeah, come see me in Nashville at DebateCon. hosted by Modern Day Debate. Going to be up against Richard Carrier, real smart guy. Going to be a very tough debate for me. I'm looking forward to it.
For you to say that means this guy's legit.
Oh, man, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. He's a real smart guy, and he knows his shit. And that's the stuff that gets me excited. That'll be Sunday. Saturday against Daniel Kakikachu, very famous Muslim apologist. Less excited for that, but still fun. But the Carrier, whew, it's going to be a doozy. So come see me there. Go to debateuniversity.com. Pick up my course. It's fantastic. I spent a lot of time on it. And then lastly, make sure that you become a member of the Crucible.video for my entire back catalog. Tons of debates. Tons of entertainment. I promise you'll be entertained for hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Let's do it. Sounds good. Thanks, man. See you guys. Crush. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.